The large mound in the center is almost a mile in circumference. It is called Split Belly Mound by the natives because of a gash in its side opened by ancient thieves. Over extremely rough roads, it's about 12 miles from the expedition camp to this great mound. We built a second camp at its base and began to drive tunnels toward the center, intending to find the royal tomb. The work proceeds in shifts with professional coal miners in charge and goes on day and night. Within, what treasures might there not lie in such a royal burial? The ancient historian Herodotus speaks of vessels of gold of various kinds, of golden mixing bowls weighing 500 pounds, of couches overlaid with gold and silver, of golden cups and richly colored garments, and of ingots 18 inches long and the image of a lion in refined gold. All of this might lie in such a royal tomb.
"200 feet into the mound, the diggers found a carved wall. 6 feet high and 2 feet thick, it curved gradually to form a circle. On it were chiseled signs, probably belonging to the dead King Gyges. The tomb must be within this wall. A crew works day and night in the center of the mound, trying to follow striations made when it was originally piled. Every 3 feet, a shoring frame must be built. The crew moves only a yard in an 8-hour shift. In this way, more than 300 feet of tunnels have been opened within the mound.
Often our modern tunnels were intersected by the narrow burrows of the ancient grave robbers. These we followed at great personal risk as far as crumbling earth and low headroom would allow. As this miner demonstrates, there is room for only one man to crawl through at a time. The ancient treasure hunters must have worked all alone and in the dark. None of their tunnels has led to the tomb chamber.
At the end of the 1966 season, the oldest timbers were rotting, and there was danger to the lives of the workmen. Time and money had run out. The entrance to the inner tunnels was walled up, and the search was abandoned, at least until further funds are found. The royal mound has frustrated every effort of ancient and modern man, and keeps it secret.
The expedition has had better success in other mounds of the royal cemetery, and the tombs excavated there suggest what is undiscovered in the mound of Gyges. Dumantepe, or Smoky Mound, was opened in 1966 by modern grave robbers. Here I make a preliminary exploration of the hole through which the treasure hunters had entered. The narrow entrance leads to a tunnel with a stone roof, which runs toward the center of the mound. There is room to crawl forward only for a short distance, and our way is blocked by heaps of human bones.
As excavation proceeded, we discovered that this tomb, originally built for one Lydian nobleman, was found and reused by the early Christians. They packed it to the roof with the bodies of 150 people. There are men, women, and children, perhaps the victims of a plague. When the mass grave is cleared, there is room to walk through a long entrance passageway, to a second passage, and then to the tomb chamber. The nobleman lay on a stone couch, which has been destroyed by the grave robbers.
It is a place to make even a seasoned workman ill at ease, but he makes a joke of it. All of the tombs opened by this expedition, with the exception of the Gyges mound, have been plundered by thieves in ancient and modern times. Yet there are small objects which have been overlooked by them and which we have recovered. Fragments of gold and crystal jewelry hint at the treasures that lie in the Gyges mound.
At headquarters, objects are being prepared for the trip to the Turkish State Museum at Manisa, which is the final destination for most of what is discovered at Sardis. The jar found earlier has the finishing touches put on it by the potter Mustafa. When complete, it is boxed in special packing. The little lion is also packed and padded for the trip. Manisa is a medieval Islamic city of about 70,000. In its center is the beautiful Muradiye Mosque by the Turkish architect Sinan. From its minarets, the Turkish muezzin still makes his call to prayer. Below him, a portion of the mosque, which was once a religious school, is being reused as a museum. Inside, sculpture is shown in the open air, around the fountain court or in cool arcades. Here, the discoveries from Sardis are at once protected from and preserved for their worst enemy, which is man himself. The little lion, once a building stone, is given a distinguished place among the finds. In this museum, we can retrace the whole history of Sardis. In the gravestones of its first citizens, the Lydians. In a panel dedicated to the god of the Pactolus River, the source of the city's wealth. In the inscriptions in Lydian, Greek, and Latin. In the sculptured processions. And in the battles which have destroyed it so often.
Removed from the changing fortunes of the city and of its ruins, the lion and the other treasures, the splendid Lydian maiden of the time of Croesus, the goddess and the laughing faun from capitals of the Roman gymnasium, and the fiery portrait of an early Christian sage will keep alive the memory of the great city of Sardis.